Charlotte from Charlotte So Natural here in Newton, Kansas. SoNatural.com on the net. And this is Wednesday, so welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. Haven't done one for a while, so I thought this was a great opportunity to. I've been at home this morning finishing up this quilt. I have to show you this fun quilt. This is just one of those little Villa Rosa postcard patterns called Star Queen. And I took a really fun panel and cut it up and featured it in the middle, and it's kind of crazy. It's these little cowgirls. I just love them. They are weirdness. I just love it. We do have kits for this if you're interested, and it comes with the pattern, comes with all the fabrics, and I will put a link to that in the bottom of this video. But I just thought that I had covered this before, and so maybe I have, but I couldn't find it on my own YouTube channel. So that means that you couldn't find it if I said, oh, go look it up. So I'm going to do this again. So I've been going around my whole quilt with a bias binding. You can tell it's biased because I did a stripe that works with it. So I went all the way around. I left a tail loose as I started. When I came back around, I stopped sewing, oh, a good 12, 18 inches before I got to where I had started. So this is the perfect time to bring out your Cut Right Bind Up tool. This will show me exactly how to join these two pieces of binding. So I got to the end here, and Kirsten, I don't know if you want to come up a little bit closer. I'll show you what I did. So I've stopped sewing. Now I'm going to lay these down here. I'm matching up it's still folded. I'm matching it up, and I'm going to fold this really nice and so that I have room before I get there. So folding that. Now I'm going to bring this one up, and I'm going to make sure it's nice and kind of snug, and I'm going to fold that. And so they are now butting together. They're just ever so slightly short, just so I can push them and they'll meet. So that is the trick. And now I'm going to take my friction pen, and I'm going to go in, and I've pinched that with my fingers. And I'm going to go in, and there should be a place where those folds make the cross. So I'm going to mark that. That is where I had creased it. Then on this side, I'm going to open up and do the same thing. And this is where I had creased it. So I could see here's my crease, here's the middle fold, and this is where I had it folded back and pinched. So once I have those markings, that's where the tool comes out perfect for this little tiny bit of seam allowance we need to know that we need beyond that fold, and I want my diagonal seam. So this says L for left, so this is on the left. If we turn this around, Kirsten, so you can, whoa, there went my little Kindle. So, okay, so here we go. So I am lining up these hairs, crosshairs, with my cross that I drew on there. And you can see that line that's on the ruler. I'm laying that on the fold, so everything's straight. And now I'm going to draw this. I'm going to slide up here, and I'm going to draw that blunt. Now I want the other side. That's all drawn. This side, I want to draw these lines. Of course, they're not there. All you have here is the X that I just drew. I'm keeping this up. I can still read it. Cut right, bind up, left. But now I want the right, so I'm just going to turn this around. Now we're on the right side of the seam. I'm going to line that up, and I'm going to draw this right here, slide this down, and there's my blunt. So now I just take a pair of scissors, and I simply cut that with scissors. And on this side, I'm going to cut that. So what has happened is that little blunt edge shows me exactly where that has to match. So when you go to back to the sewing machine and you sew 1/4 inch seam allowance, it's going to stitch right through that X on both sides. And when you open that seam out, you will have a straight piece of binding that, let me move my hand, that is exactly the length that you need it to be. And then I can finish sewing it. So I just wanted you to know, if you have bought this tool from me before and you haven't used it, oh, get it back out, because it's a perfect tool. If you haven't, we have them for sale here at Charlotte Sew Natural in Newton, Kansas, and on sewnatural.com on the web. Thanks. Have a great Wednesday afternoon.